Real Madrid, Man City, a new Clasico in Europe. Well, Clasico, but on the last 4 years, and seeing again Guardiola and Ancelotti, the battle of the Masterminds, is going to be so interesting.
Hello and welcome back to another edition of Clean Strike. Again, it is Champions League week. Again, we're very excited for the upcoming fixtures. I'm joined this week by Alejandro and Alex as we preview another exciting round of Champions League fixtures. I guess there's nowhere else to start really than Tuesday. Tomorrow, today, whenever you're watching this, Milan, Feyenoord, a slightly surprising result last week with Feyenoord taking a slim advantage to the San Siro. Alex, how do you see this one playing out? How do you think Feyenoord and Milan will fare in a very tight encounter?
Yeah, I think the first game was, like you say, it was an interesting one. Milan have been, up and down recently. I know there's been a few issues with Conceição, quite outspoken with his team at the moment. I was reading reports in Italy this morning that the Fab Four, as they're calling them, Pulisic, Joao Felix, Rafael Leao and Jimenez, they obviously got a chance at the weekend, wasn't great. So it looks like potentially Christian Pulisic might get dropped, which I thought was quite interesting. I think he's had a pretty good season so far. So yeah, going with Felix, Leao and Jimenez. Feyenoord, they did well in the first game, obviously. They've got a bit of an injury crisis still. They've got 10 players out, so that would be something for them to contend with. But I can see Milan just edging it, honestly. They've won every game, home game in the Champions League so far this season. And I think, that home advantage will probably just play out in the end.
I think they lost to Liverpool in the first game. 3-1.
Yes, they did. Sorry.
They've won every game apart from that one.
But
no, that's fair enough. Alejandro, I think last week we said we fancied Milan in the tie. Is that still the case for you, or are you leaning towards Feyenoord being able to see this out?
San Siro will decide, really. San Siro will be the decision maker of this tie, because what we saw in the Quip, it was one Feyenoord who completely take out of the game Santiago Jimenez, the new signing of Milan. They were saying that he was going to be the key player for Milan on that night, and we didn't see him appearing on that moment. So now the game of Tuesday, Milan Feyenoord, will be I think one of the first biggest games for Santiago Jimenez with Milan t-shirt. We'll see how the situation goes, but I trust on Sergio Conceição to make a good game and try and eliminate Feyenoord, because I think Sergio Conceição is a coach who knows how to play these two-leg games. Even he had a disadvantage on the first game. He will know how to handle it and take the advantage to advance round. So we will see how the situation goes in San Siro, but I think Milan will advance to the next round.
Yeah, I just think that at some point those, as you said, those 4 players and a couple of them behind them in Reinders and Ter Hernandez, they're all going to click at some point, aren't they? And they're very exciting, and you'd hope it's in the biggest game, one of the biggest games they've got for the rest of the season, which is now. So, I think last week a slight surprise was Brugge beating Atalanta. I mean, I've seen the penalty, and that blew me away that was given as a penalty. But obviously, they're taking the advantage to Atalanta, who are one of the most exciting teams in Europe. Do either of you have any thoughts on how you see this one playing out? I think no one expected this result going into the second leg.
No. Like you say, Atalanta are probably one of the most exciting teams in Europe this season. They've been excellent. They're obviously without Ademola Lookman, which is a big thing for them. That'll be he's going to be a huge miss. But as far as I'm aware, I was looking this morning, Club Brugge haven't won in Italy since 2003. Played 8 games and haven't won any. So I can see Atalanta using that horrible penalty decision to file them off this game. And I can see Atalanta just edging them again.
Same with you, Alejandro. Can you see Atalanta?
Yeah, I see Atalanta. Probably they can overcome this bad result in the first leg and advance to the next round. In Champions League, really, what we saw, it was one Club Brugge that we don't need to be surprised about them because we know what they are able to do in Europe. They have shown it in the last years. They have shown how much quality they have. But I think for this game, Gasperini will try another new things and try to eliminate Club Brugge, and I think he will manage to do it. And Atalanta, if you see pound by pound the quality of the squad of Atalanta and Brugge, I think normally Atalanta has more chances to overcome Brugge in that second leg than Atalanta.
Yeah, I think, again, speaking from a little bit of experience, I'm a Liverpool fan, and we got absolutely blown away by Atalanta in a game that really mattered last year. And the other time I've really watched them was against Leverkusen in the Europa League final, and they were outstanding that night. So I kind of see when the pressure's on, they kind of turn up. So yeah, I can't really see any other result than them heading into the round of 16. I think that, again, another surprising result from last week was Benfica Monaco. It was on a knife edge. I think either way, Monaco's form's kind of tailed off a bit recently. And I wasn't really, didn't really know what to expect from this game. Benfica are taking an advantage home, which is obviously going to help. Has anyone got, Alejandro, have you got any thoughts on how this one might play out?
Well, Benfica Monaco can be. I mean, we can say it's the tightest one of the games. We saw Benfica won in the first leg. Probably they are each favorites because they decide home and lose. So I think they have the small chance to be more favorites. And if you compare the squads, maybe they will have a bit more of favoritism because of the recent years and the moment of shape they are giving. But I don't discard Monaco. They can make the surprise. I mean, this Scooter team is very good. They have a very strong combination of players, and for me, I'm open for everything. I'm open into any kind of results, and I think it's going to be a game to watch. Definitely, it's going to be one of the games to watch in this game.
Yeah, I thought Benfica were excellent in the first game. I think they had 24 shots to Monaco's 5 in the first game. And probably cursing themselves a little bit that they're not going to be ahead by more than one goal going into the second leg. Like Ale said, it's going to be a really, really tight one. But I should say Monaco have got one of the most intriguing strikers in Europe in their squad at the moment. Mika Bayrit, that's right. Can't pronounce his name. Danish, but came through the Fulham and Arsenal academies, didn't play a game, went on a series of loans to Scotland, played in Austria, and then joined Monaco in January and scored 7 goals in 5 games. So, if anyone's going to... Sorry,
it was a hat-trick at the weekend, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, he scored 2 hat-tricks so far. So, if any player in Europe can turn things around for Monaco, it's probably going to be good.
And then the final game on Tuesday is Bayern Munich Celtic. I think Bayern Munich secured a slight advantage in Celtic Park, which I'm fairly certain will help see them through to the next round. Kane and Elise on target. Elise's goal, I mean, he almost took the net off of that. So I can kind of see him having a bit of confidence heading to the Allianz. Alex, where do you think this one's going to go?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really, a bit more of a boring answer, but I can't really see anything other than a Bayern win here, to be honest. They're exceptional at home, always have been. I think you have to go back to 2011, the last time that they lost a 2-legged European tie. I mean, won first, that was against Inter. So it's nearly, but not quite for Celtic, I'm afraid, with this one.
Fair feel for them because they obviously hung in there. They got a goal back and they scored in quotation marks within the first couple of seconds. Obviously he was offside in the end, but yeah, that would have been a very different tie if that had gone in. Alejandro, I think last week I gave them a 10% chance of going through Celtic, maybe even less, and I think it's even less now. I think you agree, don't you?
Definitely. We saw Celtic could have their small chances, especially when in the beginning of the game. But when as the time was going by in the game, Bayern Munich was imposing their role, was imposing their quality, and really the big call Bayern Munich is game over. Celtic Glasgow, and it's really, we think that they have very few chances to make a surprise in Allianz Arena this Tuesday. So it's very difficult, but if the only way they can do it on Tuesday against Bayern Munich is if they follow the game, how Xabi Alonso tried to defeat last weekend or Bayern Munich on Bundesliga. I think if they follow that recipe, they can have a small chance to advance. But of course, the quality of players of Celtic Glasgow cannot compare to the ones of Bayer Leverkusen, so it's also another handicap we need to take into account.
Yeah. Just before we move on to Wednesday, which game will you guys be tuning into? Out of the four, if you can only watch one, which one are you going to watch?
I would probably say Benfica Monaco. Maybe a rogue choice, but yeah, I think that's the tightest one. Could see it potentially going to extra time, penalties, stuff like that. So yeah, that'd be my choice.
Maybe I will go for Milan Feyenoord. I think Milan Feyenoord is going to be the hot game in England, because we're seeing Milan needs to win. A defeat in Champions League could be dramatically for Rossoneri. So I will go for Milan game.
For pure footballing, I'd like to watch Bayern Munich. I think some of the players they've got are very exciting, but I think maybe I'll be a bit rogue as well. If I had to choose one, Atalanta would be my choice. I think that might be quite an exciting battle between the two teams. And then obviously we're moving on to Wednesday, which Tuesday and Wednesday last week were very different, and I think they're very different again this week with Dortmund and Sporting. Obviously Dortmund, a massive contrast to their league form, absolutely hammered Sporting, and again a bit of a contrast to Sporting's league form. Dortmund kind of set up to just go there and sit back and maybe try and nick a goal, but even then they don't need to. They're in such a comfortable position. Can you see any chance Sporting make a comeback here?
No, honestly. I guess, like you said, the contrast between the league form and the European form has been so great that there's always that little bit of doubt. You know, they got absolutely hammered by Bochum at the weekend. That there is a possibility that could happen again. But I think because it's 3 goals, it's going to be really, really difficult. I think this is a Dortmund go through. Maybe it's like a 1-1 draw or something like that. But yeah, I think Dortmund go through here for me.
Totally agreed. Totally. We are seeing Dortmund, this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Borussia Dortmund's version. Again, this year, we have seen Dortmund struggling in Bundesliga, but in Champions League shining and showing their best quality. So I think we'll see the good version here in Champions League, and probably they will win. I think maybe 1 or 2-0 or 2-1, that could be. But I think there shouldn't be any big surprises in Western Stadium with Sporting to Portugal.
Yeah, there's a phrase, isn't there, or a thought in football, that there's often teams that are just quite good at knockout football, and I wonder if Dortmund are that. They're just nice on, because the way they play is very high octane, and in a one-off game, a lot of that energy and emotion in it, they can nick a goal, and you struggle to keep pace with them for 90 minutes. But in a league where you've got to maintain that form and teams can kind of present a different challenge, they struggle. So maybe that's just the thing they have to get over in the next couple of weeks and months and years. But yeah, similarly in France, specifically Paris, the Ousmane Dembele show hopefully is going to shine again. He's one of those players that I'm probably of an age where he came through and everyone was like, this is the next guy. Oh my word, this is amazing. And he's never really shown it. And every time I watch him, he feels a bit like Rafa Leao to me. I'm excited and I'm like, this guy is going to change the game, and he never does. But he's come into form and he's put Paris in a really, really good position to advance with ease into the next round. And I think, again, Alejandro, that's going to happen, isn't it? Paris are going to wipe the floor with Brest.
No, really. We are seeing that. We saw in the first game that Paris Saint-Germain was tremendously strong against Stade Brestois and didn't give them any chance. Of course, we are seeing Dembele is going back to the best version, to the prime version. Luis Enrique has given again a confidence. So I think Stade Brestois must enjoy I think that their last Champions League game of the season, and think that what they have achieved in this season was a wonderful result for a team that it was playing the first time this competition. So it's the end of the fairy tale for Stade Brestois, and it will be the continuation of PSG to try to go for glory once again this year.
Yeah, like Ali said, it's the end of the fairy tale, but it's been probably the best story in the competition so far, Brest. I think it's a major reason why I think the league phase has worked so well. I think in the old format, we would never have seen Brest get through to the knockout stages. It's a shame that they got drawn with another French team. It doesn't have quite the same excitement as if they'd have got, Bayern Munich or whoever. But it's the end to a brilliant story. And I think this is another easy win for PSG, really.
Yeah, even on that, they've played 10 games in the Champions League. I mean, it sets them up brilliantly. I'm not sure how they're actually doing in the league. I need to check that. Let me just quickly brush up on my French knowledge. They're maybe not performing as well this season, but there's an outside chance of the Europa League, which might, again, this experience will really help them build, and hopefully we'll see them challenging in some European competitions again in the future. I think we'll go to the Netherlands for the next stop for PSV Juve. Again, a tight game. I think Juve have been almost invincible. Maybe not in the way that many people would envision invincibles, but they've been quite imperious in the league this season, and obviously just beat title hopefuls Inter. They're going into this game 2-1 up, and again, I think that the way that they play is maybe quite suited to this. They can kind of sit back and absorb a lot of pressure and try and score a late goal. I think that's how I'm looking at this one. Alex, I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that it does feel like, just from the outside looking in, that they've maybe turned a corner a little bit. I think the introduction of Kolo Muani in January has really helped them. I think replacing Vlahovic in the starting 11 has just added a bit more presence and just a bit more oomph in their attack, really. Obviously supported by Weston McKennie as well. Like you say, full of confidence after the weekend's win against Inter. It was a good game, I thought, and probably deserved the win. I think, I just think they're better than PSV, basically. They're a better team. So I can see them going through this one.
Same for you, Ali. I think Juve will see it out.
Definitely, we are seeing Juve that the confidence of winning this game against Inter Milan can change their destination during the season. We are seeing also that Kolo Muani is fitting on a excellent way in with the Bianconeri. So I think they can advance to the next round of the Champions League, last 16, and go forward against PSV Eindhoven.
Yes, another big one. I think the one everyone's really excited for, the Bernabéu, no better place for a Champions League game is that Real Madrid heading in with a slight advantage, which I don't think 10 minutes before the end of the game last week anyone would have expected. But obviously, the European heritage.
Well, maybe they did expect it. That's the thing.
Maybe,
that's the thing.
that is it. Who knows? Who knows? But this is going to be an exciting game. I think. It's not a coin flip. Madrid are in a stronger position. So one of you take the floor and give me some thoughts about where you think this one might head.
As the resident Real Madrid fan, I'll let you go first on this one.
What an honor! What an honor! Really, is the game of the games of this round. We cannot say it on another way. It's the game of the games. Real Madrid, Man City, a new Clasico in Europe. Well, Clasico, but on the last 4 years, and seeing again Guardiola and Ancelotti, the battle of the masterminds, is going to be so interesting, and especially after this win of Real Madrid, that first win in City of Manchester Stadium. Think about that, because in all the visits they went, they were unable to win, but finally they were able to get this win for the first leg of the Champions League season. And let's see how the situation goes. I think Real Madrid is favorite, but I don't want to under-considerate or underestimate Pep Guardiola's team, because we know that even if Man City, they are suffering a lot this season, even if they are not on the best shape, Pep Guardiola motivates especially when he plays in Bernabéu against Real Madrid. So we will see. I mean, it's going to be the game of the games.
Yeah, like Alex said, I think this is the one game to watch this week. It's a new Clasico, as Alex said. I thought Man City were exceptional at the weekend, which is the first time that I've thought that in a while, to be honest. I thought Nico Gonzalez was brilliant at the base of their midfield. I think it just really shows how important having a proper defensive midfielder is in that Manchester City team. Obviously, we've seen the slide that they've had since Rodri's injury. I think Pep called him a mini Rodri in his post-game press conference at the weekend. So that's about as big a compliment as you can get, really. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts. Reports this morning that Nathan Ake and Ruben Diaz will both be fit as well. So that's a big boost for them. But it's Real Madrid at the Bernabéu. They always win there. I think the last time I can really remember them going out at the Bernabéu was probably the Ajax game in 2019. So it's been a while, but if Manchester City can click, like we know they can do it. So yeah, it's going to be a great game. I really can't call this one. Yeah,
I think the last minute winner kind of swings it in the Real Madrid pendulum slightly, just because City have to come out and play now. All of a sudden there's an onus on them to get a goal instead of kind of absorbing some pressure. Towards the end of the game as well, last week, I just thought City looked so devoid of confidence. The moment that Madrid got the second goal, the second equaliser, City just kind of didn't look like any of them ever met, let alone play football together. And yeah, I think that might play a bit of a part. They are a little bit low on confidence. Obviously, they smashed Newcastle at the weekend. Rouge kind of arrived for the first time. But yeah, I think it's so tough to call. I am going to edge it to Madrid, which I don't particularly know if I want to. But again, as a fan of the team in the competition, I don't think I want to play either of them over two legs. So yeah, as long as they can just knacker each other out, score a few goals, entertain us all, that would be brilliant. Again, obviously, I asked you on Tuesday, what are you going to watch? I assume I know the answer to this one. If you could watch one game, which game are you going to watch on Wednesday?
Yeah, only one game.
There we go. I think I might be a bit awkward and watch PSV Juve. No, I'm joking. I have Real Madrid City on.
To be honest, the only chance I'll give Man City if in Bernabéu is if Valverde doesn't arrive fit completely to the game, because we saw that he got an injury against Osasuna last weekend. So that's the only way Man City can hurt Real Madrid defense. But if not, I think Real Madrid can.
Has there been any news on his fitness, Saleh?
We are waiting for news. They were commenting that at the beginning of this week they were going to make him their complete test and check out if he's available or not. On Tuesday there is the pre-game training, so we'll see if he trains along with the rest of their teammates. So we'll know on Tuesday if he plays or not.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, as I said, I will have Madrid City on, but there's slightly more pressing orders in Villa Park for Liverpool on Wednesday night, so I will have an eye on that as well. But yeah, I hope we all enjoy the Champions League this week. Thank you again for joining me, Ali and Alex. I hope you enjoy the games, and leave a comment of what games you'll be watching and who you think will go through, and we'll catch you soon.